So I believe I've mentioned before that the range I shoot at here is our local FOP range. And I tried to get out here the other day, but some of our local sheriff's deputies were doing some training. Good on them. When they get done with their training, they leave their targets on the board here. And I often see these out here, and I've seen other police training with them as well. Which brings me to this conclusion. Wouldn't you hate to be this guy right here? Now, this is an actual person. Although, it looks like his heyday was in the mid-70s. But wouldn't you hate to be this guy? Every cop in the nation knows that face and think of him as a threat and shoot at him regularly. Let's get on with the video. Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's that time of the year again, wintertime, and for whatever reason, I always get 1911 fever in the winter. And for the past few years, I've had a Ruger 1911 Lightweight Commander that I've bought and sold for various reasons. The last two, one was sent back to Ruger and deemed a lemon, and then the next one they sent me didn't perform any better than the other one, and they had changed a couple things in their design. They didn't put any lines on the front strap anymore, and they actually increased the price. So I don't know what Ruger's Lightweight Commander 1911 quality didn't seem to be as good as the first one I had. Wish I'd never sold it. But we all have regrets in life, and you move on from those regrets and you get something just a good bit better. Maybe a little more than a good bit. Let's take a look at this. So what we have here is not a failure to communicate. It's a Colt 1911 Competition model. It even says it right here. Competition series. Amazing little gun. I've only put about 2 magazines through it so far, because that is all the time I had the other day when I picked this up. But as with a Colt, you get good Colt quality. And I have been looking for a 1911, considered many options, and for the price point I was looking at, this one fit the bill for the price and all the features I was looking for. Number one, and it may be a little petty to some people, Series 70 firing system. I've shot several Series 80s, but I wanted a 70. They're just simpler, and I just wanted a 70, so that's what I got. The only negative that I found with this was that of course, the front strap wasn't checkered or anything, so I got some Talon grip put on there. It's perfect, just like I like it. So I got some good grip there, good purchase on it. And the only other thing I've changed on this gun from as it came out of the box is the magazine release. I put a Wilson Combat extended mag release on there. This is one of their bulletproof parts. So as I understand it, it's CNC machined from solid steel, not cast or anything. And the sights on it, now it comes with several different colors of sights, and I thought it would have the blue one in from the factory, but it had the red one in, and that's what I was going to change it to anyway. And these are indeed Novak sights. Good sights. I'll probably leave these as they are. If I change anything, it'll be to put either an XS big dot or a gold bead front sight on here. Safety, very positive. Easy to put on, easy to take off, but it is positive. The trigger, as one would expect from a good Colt, it's nice. I would say about 4.5 pounds or so. I don't have a trigger pull gauge, but I need to get one. Metal mainspring housing, beaver tail, all that good stuff. But back to the front strap here. From what I read, the reason that Colt doesn't put any checkering or lines or anything on here is because the class of competition that most people would use this for, some sort of stock class, I'm not a competitive shooter, so I don't know, does not allow that. So you have to have just a regular, straight up, solid front strap. It does have the undercut on the trigger guard there. You can see it's undercut, get good and high on it. And the slide, very smooth. Now as far as the slide to frame fit, pretty good. There's a little bit of side to side movement, just ever so slight. But from what I've read, most Colts are like that. You're not going to get like the precision slide to frame fit like you would on a Wilson Combat or Nighthawk, something like that. But people's argument on that is it aids reliability on the Colts. I don't know. We'll find out. It does have a National Match barrel, GI style guide rod, and it has the dual recoil spring system. 2 recoil springs in here. And Colt says that softens recoil and actually extends the life of the springs itself. Life of the springs to me is not a big deal. Springs are cheap, easy to replace, but you know, something else you don't have to worry about for a little while. So let's put a few rounds through it, see how it shoots. Nothing like a big bag of freedom seeds. I think I'll go plant a few of these right now. And now it is starting to sprinkle a good little bit here, but we're shooting some standard 230 grain ball out of the Colt mag. I've got some Wilson Combat mags over here, but the Colt was the one that was loaded up, loaded in just fine. Let's see how it shoots. All 8 rounds, just fine. Lock the slide back. And so far, granted, I've just put 3 magazines through this, but everything's been flawless. I could not say that about the Ruger that I had. The last 2 anyway. Now we're going to try some Hollowpoints. These are 230 grain Federal HSTs and a Wilson Combat 47D magazine, 8 round mag. Just one quick thing here. The way I run a 1911, you know, a lot of people, and I kind of tend to go back and forth, they'll do the overhand slingshot release on the back of the slide. Generally, if I'm out here actually practicing, I like to do the thumb release on the slide. Some people argue against that. Some big name trainers, experts, guys I trust, argue for it, Larry Vickers being one. But much like the AR-15, when you put a mag in, your thumb is naturally there at the bolt release. Put a mag in a 1911, your thumb is naturally there at the slide release. Slide stop, release, whatever. And on a 1911, it is nice and big, easy to get to. On a Glock, factory Glock, not so much, but you can get extended ones for the Glock. But those slides are real easy to release anyway. So let's see how this gun handles HST Hollowpoints. And just as I figured, handled it just fine. And one note about this gun, as opposed to the Ruger lightweight Commander I had, of course it's an all steel gun. It's a little bit heavier. It's not that much heavier when I've tried it on, carrying it in this Don Hume leather holster here. Pretty comfortable actually. Of course this is a full 5-inch government 1911 as opposed to the Commander. So you got 3/4 of an inch more on the slide and barrel. Slightly better ballistics. And some people argue in a 45 you need all the ballistic help you can get. But I've noticed it's well balanced. The recoil is, no, it's not bad at all. I mean, granted, it is a full steel 1911, full size, but it's not bad at all. Follow-up shots, nice and easy. Good trigger pull, which is one of the big pluses on a 1911. Ergonomics, trigger pull, excellent gun. Now one could argue against capacity. There are 2011 models, as I've heard them called, that are double stack 1911s, but I still prefer just a single stack. With the ergonomics of this gun, if I need to, I can reload quickly, get back on target, back into action. Not that I see a lot of gunfights anyway, but you never know. I tend to try to avoid places where one might need a gun, but I try to always have one on me just in case, because you never know when the zombie invasion will begin. So a few final conclusions on this gun. If you're looking for a 1911, well under $1,000, and you're looking for quality, Series 70, and accuracy right out of the box, you can't go wrong with this one. I kind of wish I had picked this one up before any of the Rugers. Now, before you get mad, sorry, I'm pointing the gun at the camera. Safety Nazi. Before you get mad about Ruger, my good buddy Junk Food Zombie has a Ruger all stainless Commander 1911 that he got a little before I got my first lightweight Commander Ruger, and that gun has been, from what he said, 100% flawless, reliable. He's done Militech on the gun, so it's just as smooth or smoother than this one. Now, granted, it's only had a handful of magazines through it, but pretty smooth, and it will get smoother as time goes on. And stay tuned, I've got some other upgrades coming to this gun. As you can see, it does have the blue Colt VZ grips on it. Nice grips, good texture, but for carry, they can be a little bit rough in some areas. So I ordered some slim VZ grips. And if you know anything about 1911s, you have to change the bushings to go from standard size to slim grips. And of course, the bushings in this gun were put on with the torque of 1,000 Viking sailor men. So I've ordered a special tool from Chalice Grips to aid me in spinning those bushings out. So stay tuned for that. I didn't plan on having those on there today anyway, so I wanted to show the gun mostly as it came out of the box. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.